Hey, it's Nick Irwin again. We are interviewing Tara Aversa. She is the artist behind the murals all around the Walden Bar and on the inside, and also all over East Nashville, right? And Nashville in general, right?
Maybe not all over East Nashville,
Okay.
but around Nashville.
Around Nashville.
And Manchester and Tullahoma.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Yes.
So we're going to dig in and talk about how she got involved in this work and learn a little bit more about her. All right, so tell us a little bit about yourself and where you're from and kind of what you do.
Okay, so I grew up in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, and both my parents are from New York, so I was in New York a lot, and then I grew up in the South, so it was very like fish out of water.
Those are two very different cultures.
Very confusing. Like my grandma's like, "Why are you calling me old? You don't say ma'am." You know. And then down here, I would say yeah for like I understand, and they're like, "Yeah, man." I'm like, "Yeah," and so I would get in trouble a lot. Anyway, grew up like that. My family is a big part of my life. I always painted, drawing on the walls. My mom's an artist, but she's a hairstylist, and honestly, it started with her because I was drawing on the walls. That she was like, "Well, I don't want to like crush her creativity," so she gave me the inside of my closet. Said, "You can draw whatever you want in here," and I went to town. But yeah, so I grew up there. I'm a really bubbly person, and spontaneous and ADD as hell. So I'm like squirrel. And you know, I don't know how to explain it.
So take me from
All over the board. I don't know.
drawing in your closet to
This. Okay. There's a big disconnect. There's a really big disconnect.
Okay.
So, and I always painted, but I only did it for me, and I could only really paint when I was upset. So it was a therapy thing for me. And I grew up in the salon, so I always did hair. With my mom, I've been like assisting her from when I was like 13 years old. You know, you're told that you can't make money as an artist. And all I wanted to do was get out of Nashville, which is very ironic. So after high school, like we couldn't afford to go. I couldn't afford to go to the schools that I wanted to go to for art. But my parents were like, you know, MTSU or cosmetology school of your mother's choice, basically, because I was just naturally good at it. And my mom's like, you know, you can always paint. So I put it on the back burner I'm 30 now. So since I was 18, all I wanted to do was really paint. I never thought that I could make money doing it, supporting myself. I never thought that I could, because unfortunately, my art teacher in high school, she was kind of a hard ass and like I wasn't good enough kind of thing. And so she was like, maybe this isn't your thing.
It's funny that something like art could be judged as good or not.
Oh yeah.
It's like an expression of whatever you're feeling or going through, right? Like,
absolutely. And I think that, you know, they say, not that I think she was very talented, but I think that not to focus on that teacher, I just don't think she saw me as that I was going to be a professional artist one day. And so like it got more and more diminished and like brought down. And so I would go like years without painting. And that's where Walden comes in. So I was doing hair at Local Honey, and Katie, one of the owners, walks in and she couldn't get in with her regular stylist. So she ended up seeing me. And I hit it off immediately with Katie. I was just like, you know, I was like, I feel like I've known you for forever. And she goes, well, I just moved from New York and I'm trying to open a bar with my best friend, but we need to find a mural artist. And I swear to God, not even like a week before that, I was at the stoplight on, it was like Gallatin, you know where the Leo is? Yeah. And I just see the East Side Boys and all their stuff all over town. I'm like, God, I just want one. Just give me one. One week later,
did you think that or did you say
I said it out loud. I actually said it out loud in my car, and I was like, God, I just want one. Because I'm like right next to Kelsey Montague's big, like, what do they call it? A hot air balloon. And I'm like, I could do this. I just wish, not that it would happen, but just give me one. So a week later, Katie sits down in my chair. She's like, "We're looking for a mural artist," and I'm like, cheeky.
It's so funny.
God has such a sense of humor. It's insane. I'm like, oh, the timing.
There's also a lot of power in like intention and saying those things out loud. Like sometimes the universe responds.
It's like the power of positive thinking.
Absolutely.
I'm a firm believer in The Secret.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's kind of how it happened, and I was like, well, I can do it. And then next thing you know, I was already doing mock-ups and sketches, and they had an idea of what they wanted, and I just kind of meshed it.
Wow.
Because Walden Bar is named after Walden Pond.
Right.
So we wanted to stick with that.
Yeah. So these are some of your firsts then?
Yes, this is some of my first that I've shown people.
Okay.
I've always painted on canvas, and I've always done larger scale canvases,
but
I just hid them behind my couch. So like this was like the first time in my adult life that people have actually seen my artwork.
Yeah.
Some of my closest friends like didn't even know I painted.
Wow.
Because they just didn't think that it was,
So do you still do
canvases?
Canvases?
Yes, and you mentioned Dolly Parton earlier, and I do have painting of Dolly.
Okay.
But it's not on a wall.
I'm kind of obsessed.
I'm obsessed with Dolly. So obsessed with Dolly Parton.
So let's talk about how obsessed we are with Dolly.
Okay. The higher the hair, the closer to the 10 pound baby Jesus.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you listened to the podcast, Dolly Parton's America?
No.
What?
I haven't.
Okay, so I already win. You're not as obsessed as
I'm so you do it.
So tell me about your process. Like, how does it go from your brain to like this gigantic scale?
I don't know how to explain it.
Okay.
But how I started with this and how I like approach most of my murals is I have a meeting with whoever. I pick their brain a little bit, try to find what they're looking for and what they're not looking for. I'm mainly a freehand artist. I don't like to project my stuff. So
Wait a
like
minute.
none of this is projected. This is all, I did that from my head.
Whoa.
This was also it was a sketch that I had done, but I didn't have to look at the sketch. I do measure.
Yeah.
You can barely tell, and I'm thinking I need to go back in with other paint because there's a W hidden in there for Walden. But this shit took me forever because I'm like old school measuring. But
so in my mind, you like drew this on some transparency paper and like projected it and then traced it.
Mm-hmm.
So no. So this is all just like.
Same with the outside.
How does your brain put all of those pieces together correctly?
So, first of all, I'm blind. I'm a blind mural artist. I'm awful at, like, I don't like wearing contacts because I don't like touching my eyeball. I have driving glasses, but when I'm painting, I focus on a smaller, like, I could be up close to this for like 2 hours focusing on a part of the puzzle, and then after step back and be like, oh yeah, that looks good, but I'm still blind. So basically I just kind of like, I don't know how I do it, and I don't know how to explain it. I do pre-sketch to get an idea or a gist, but I have to explain to everyone it's not going to look exactly like this. I think that, for a lot of people, they project, and I've gotten into projecting when I have to do like certain people, but just measuring out the face, I feel like I'm cheating. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so I really only do like the high points where the highlights are, where the negative space is, and then I go from there. I don't know how to really explain it.
So are you really good at puzzles? Like putting puzzles together?
I've never even thought about that, but I'm good at Tetris. Like,
it's a transferable skill.
Yeah, I'm good at, think about, like, I have to pack this bag, a tiny bag.
Yeah.
And I'm good at, like, fitting things where everyone's like, it won't fit.
But not
Make that
puzzles,
shit fit.
Or creative puzzles.
I think I get so bored with puzzles that I constantly need something else to do. That's my ADD kicking in.
Yeah.
That I'm like, I can't, like, I don't know how to focus on one thing at a time. I like having my hand in 10 different cookie jars.
It's so ironic though, because you focus on like one piece of this at a time, Right.
Because I'm in the moment. When I'm in the moment, I'm focusing on the blend of the paint, and the paintbrushes that I like using smaller brushes because they show more detail. So I just started getting into spray paint and graffiti. I need a lot of practice because I'm a control freak, and the wind blows. Yeah. So I definitely need to learn, but acrylic is my main medium, and I just like to. I don't know how to explain other than I just draw it in a sketch pad. I don't know. I'm not good at computers. I'm very old school, so a lot of people can use their computer, design something, and then take a picture of the wall, and then take that drawing and place it onto the actual building so that people can see it. That's super professional.
I think that's super cheating, though, don't you think?
No, I think that they're incredibly intelligent, and because not everybody can see it. Not everyone can visualize it. I can look at a building and see it in my head, but I can't transfer that to someone who's incredibly left brain, right? Is analytical. I don't know how to. I feel like that would be good for me to learn later on down the road, but I still I feel like I kind of want to stick with the whole old school process of it, but I do want to learn.
Do you know how many you've done total?
I've done maybe. You mean
individual, one?
About 40.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are they all your babies, so you can't love one of them more than the rest?
Some of them I hate. Some of
Really?
them I don't like, and that's something that I need to really stay true to myself, because people think something looks good, and then they try to have too much control over the artwork, and they don't allow me to do my job.
Yeah.
That's my one thing. So there are certain paintings that I love more than others. Katie and Robin were this is what we're looking for, and we just fell in love, and so it was so easy to do something that I knew would look good
And you
look
have
beautiful.
creative control of it.
This one's my favorite. I think my favorite of all of them, just because it was my very first mural that I've done in Nashville.
So how long do one of these take to complete? I mean, I know it's based on size. And
It's
all
all
that stuff,
different. Yeah, it's definitely all different. I'm fairly fast, but this took me 11 hours
but- Okay.
to do. That took me 2 hours.
Wow.
The outside collectively probably took me 4 days,
Okay.
maybe 4 days, 8-hour days.
Yeah.
And Wedgwood Houston took me almost 5 days, and that is a big wall.
Yeah. So do you have to look at the weather and pray for no rain and those sorts of rain?
Yes, you do. Yeah, thank God. And so I'm a super impatient person. So part of it is that because I use acrylic, it does dry fast.
Yeah.
And it's super durable. So, yep, you gotta pray for rain. But I have been in 98-degree weather, 3 stories up, and hornets flying at me, and I'm afraid of heights. So it's
Funny that you do this job.
Yeah.
Paint on the sides of buildings.
ironic, right?
Yeah.
I'm afraid of flying.
Huh.
Afraid of heights, but I get over it. That's where if I focus and zone in on one tiny spot, I just move around. But when I'm super high up, I move really slowly. You get that liability insurance, Tara. But yeah, so
So do you have any stuff projects coming up that you can tell us about?
yes,
Okay.
I am really, really, really excited, and I'm hoping they love it, because you want to make sure that that is my main goal, is that who I'm doing this for, they love it, but I want to love it too. When people say
It's a hard intersection to find, right?
right, when they're I trust you, you're the artist, and then you give them something and they're this isn't what we talked about, or I just want to make sure. So right now I've never done this before, so this is very new. I'm doing a painting that's going to be blown up 9-10 times the size for an event for Elite Is it Elite Magazine?
Okay.
Nashville Elite? I don't know. Yeah,
So
I
are they
think
having
it
a
is.
party of some sort?
They're having a party of some sort where this guy, I forget his last name, but I've been messaging him, and math is not my strong suit either because I don't project, and so I'm having to take this massive canvas that is closest to the equivalent of the size of the wall that it's in the L&L Market, which is where two of my other paintings murals are, Bendon's and Yoga. That place is awesome. And then Penny Pazze, which is not open yet, but I'm very excited because it's like, I love Italian food. This is the place to go. You have to go there.
Okay. Do you know when they're open?
Very soon.
Okay. So
But L&L Market is open.
Okay.
So just check it out. He should be open either this month or next, but I'm really, really pumped about that. Oh, the trip. This is something that that I've been wanting to do for myself because it's a lifelong dream of mine to go to Europe and to go to Italy, and that's where my family's from.
Is this your first time going?
It's my first time in Europe. Yeah, my grandma's from Bari.
Okay.
So we get to go there. But each place that we're stopping, I have these tiny like postcard pop art, and I'm leaving them all around Europe. So we're flying into Paris, and like my husband's family lives there. His dad's side is from France. So they just got married, and I did a painting of them in Central Park that I'm giving to them. That's Paris. And then the next place is Turin. Well, Turin's known for their coffee, the Fiat, all of it. So I have this pop art of a cappuccino. Venice, we're just kind of like ping pong down, but each city is like based on their, like what's there. But I want it's bright, it's beautiful, they're really small, and I'm just going to like leave them. I'm bringing tiki-taki so I don't ruin the beautiful old architecture that's around there. But I'm just gonna place it somewhere, and it'll say something like my Rome one I did of a Vespa, and it says "With Love, Rome." So I'm just
leaving them there. For
and then for people to find, but we're documenting it.
Oh, nice.
So I'm really excited about that. And then I'm going to be doing that in Nashville as well. So all like 20 overnight.
Oh wow!
And
so can you give me like the secret of where they're going to be?
Yes, I can. I can give you some. Definitely 5 points because it's like stomping grounds when I was younger. Like I have one of Aquanet that's going outside. Rosemary's Tavern.
That's perfect.
Yeah, 3 Crow. Got a crow.
Yeah.
That's like a very Edgar Allan Poe like.
So what do you want people to do with them?
I want people to take them.
Okay.
I want my artwork to outlive me. Not that they would become famous, but like Vincent van Gogh didn't become famous until after he died.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
I think we all want to have some kind of lasting.
Yes.
It's powerful that you're thinking about that. So, what is your best piece of advice for somebody that wants to get into this or following your footsteps?
Don't give up.
Okay.
Do not give up or get discouraged. It's not easy, but it is a hell of a lot of fun. So that is a big part. And also, if you want something, go get it. Getting back to like best advice to give someone. Also, fake it so you make it. It was the best advice someone gave me, and that was in my hair career, or just always say yes. You will learn things along the way because you might not have that opportunity ever again.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, go big or go home, but you have to have that determination and 100% like you're all in. Otherwise, it's not going to work.
Yeah. Wow, that's great advice.
Thanks.
All right, well, thank you so much for taking the time to be
Thank
with
you.
me
It was
today.
great talking
and
to you.
Talking about all of this stuff. It's been great.
Thank you.